SMT Nation, we are back. In today's video, we've got a couple of things to discuss. One involves AT&T and ASTS and their satellite connectivities. Another involves SpaceX, Starlink, and T-Mobile's perceived ambitions into satellite. This one is a good one. Link for the article from advancedtelevision.com will be provided in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notification icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. We've got statements from AT&T CEO John Stankey in regards to satellite connection to phones. So the quote here from John: satellite constellations are going to be great. People are going to have always-on connectivity. There will be no more dead spaces. This is why we're doing what we're doing with AST, which will make sure that your device can be connected no matter where you are. So people can get excited about this, right? You've got a launch for all these different constellations happening frequently. SpaceX is doing it. AST, it's a very active time with respect to direct to satellite, direct to smartphone, and the prospects are huge for connectivity anywhere you don't have terrestrial service. And these are not primary connections. We all know the limitations. Well documented here. Now, additionally, Stankey's support matched that of Scotiabank, which on September 9th had further explained its rationale for raising the price target on AST stock. So the confidence in AST seems pretty high, whether you're asking Verizon, whether you're asking AT&T, or investment banks. All right, now where things get a little bit interesting is the supplemental coverage we're seeing SpaceX, try to develop through Starlink for T-Mobile. Now they believe that things are a little bit tougher. So the prospects for direct to cellular for Starlink is a little bit more complicated because there are some things that they're trying to accomplish. They want to increase the power of their transmission to make the connection more meaningful. The FCC refused to grant that permission of a waiver for them to be able to do that. So the problem there is that by turning up the power, it would cause interference to the terrestrial networks of other providers, including their own. So that continues to be a point of contention. But I think this is interesting that, John Stankey wanted to kind of make this public statement, reiterating that what AST is doing is very good. I think what it does is he wants to make sure that he separates what AT&T and Verizon are doing with ASTS as different than what T-Mobile is doing with SpaceX. Their connection seems to be more problematic. It's going to be more difficult to manage and probably less effective. And of course, he wants to big up his own. And, I'll continue to make my message very clear on here. These are bit connections. These are not primary connections. You have your emergency location services, your messaging, possibly your calling. There comes a point with some densification, video calls, I suppose, become possible and consistent and stable. But the problem right now is that you have, T-Mobile on the outside looking in, having to deal with, I think, trouble with respect to how theirs is going to be effective or not. And my position is these are bit connections. They're not to be compromising the terrestrial networks just for the sake of a bit connection. Not to devalue the use case of emergencies, just to say that you can't mortgage your network and others just to get a bit connection. And I think that's what the problem is. And here's Stankey trying to separate himself and their investments into these technologies from that of SpaceX, Starlink, and T-Mobile. So kind of taking the public on notice and letting people know they're not doing things the same way and theirs is better. But what do you guys think? What do you think of the approach from John in making these public statements? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.